Hi, Rene.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm doing very well, thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much for doing this.
I'm super excited.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I turned 50 last year. I need to say that. I am married. I've got two beautiful sons. They are in grade 10 and 11 now. And I'm currently in a job. And I was born and bred in Cape Town, and I live in Joburg now. I've been living here now for, I think, 15 years. I like to keep busy. I like cooking, I like baking, I like sport, I like reading, I like puzzles, I like gardening. I enjoy doing a lot of different activities.
Wow, wonderful. Can you take us through your journey in education?
Should I start by my studies and then work through that?
Yeah, that would be lovely.
I was very fortunate to have a wide range of education experience. I started off doing a BSc, and my dad didn't have enough money for me to carry on with my studies because I wanted to do research in fuels. And he suggested that I do an education diploma, which I did. And then I got married and we moved to Welkom, and I couldn't find a job there, so someone suggested that I apply for a job at the technical college. I did engineering science there, and we moved around a lot. So I used to teach at high schools after that, and I ended up at Northwest University in Potchefstroom. And I took a break when I had my kids, and we moved to Joburg. And after they went back to school, I started working at Wits, and I did teacher training. And then our department was closed, and I had to look for other work. And I found a job at an edtech company, and and I've been working there ever since.
Lovely. What do you think of the current situation on education in the country?
In a sense, I think, sometimes it feels like it's hopeless because there's not enough done in education, and it seems like there's never enough done in education. There are so many children that don't have access to education. They struggle, the schools are closed, there's not enough teachers. But if you actually go and scratch a little bit deeper, there's actually a lot of work done in schools, and there are a lot of success stories. There are a lot of companies that's involved in teacher training and in training for learners over weekends. And I think if we focus on that, then I think there's definitely hope in our country.
If a young Rene is looking at you and is aspiring to become like you, what would you say to her?
I think becoming a teacher definitely needs to be a passion, and you need to have a passion for people. You need to have a passion for learners. You need to have a passion to help them to become the best that they are. And secondly, you need to have a passion for the subject that you are teaching. You need to have a passion for what you are interested in. And my subject is chemistry, and I think it is the most beautiful subject ever. And if you merge those two passions, then you are definitely set to become one of the best teachers.
Lovely. So if a teacher is struggling right now, dealing with learners, or maybe mentally they're feeling like it's a bit difficult to work in the classroom, what would you be your advice?
I've always thought that, being a teacher, you've got to be very creative. I've worked in very difficult situations with large classrooms, children that are not disciplined. And, you have to go and sit down and decide, every day how you are going to approach this. You can't just go to school every day and think that your normal way of dealing with things are going to work. So you have to think out of the box. You have to think how to engage with children. You have to think how to engage with the environment. You actually have to solve problems being a teacher these days.
What are the challenges that you faced as an educator?
I think one of my biggest challenges was the fact that, you know, there are so many other things. I think what I didn't realize was that it's not just teaching. There are a lot of other things that you have to consider. There are administration work. You have to do sport. You have to attend meetings, and you know, all of that sometimes derails your focus and makes that you can't spend as much time with the teaching and the preparation of lessons that you would like to.
What did you get the most out of your experience?
I think explaining science, which is very difficult to many learners, explaining science to learners and making it come alive to them and getting that, you know, oh, that's how it works. You know, that to me is priceless. And I think, you know, still, if I can help anyone, you know, I really try my best, because that is the most awesome experience.
Awesome. You mentioned that you traveled a lot around the country. What's the best place which place did you like the most?
Johannesburg. And the reason for that is, you know, the people are just so welcoming, they're warm, they are open, they engage a lot. I love people and I love people's stories, and I just felt I've felt since I've come to Joburg that people are really open to share with you their lives, and yeah, that makes it very interesting.
Beautiful. We've seen teachers being disrespected by kids at school. What's your take on that? What do you think should be done?
Well, not by children alone, also by parents, and I think the community in general. People think that being a teacher is not a noble job anymore. And my motto in life is being professional. And I think that teachers should not shy away from what they are doing. Because I think many teachers, in their heads, they feel like, you know, I'm not valued enough, I'm not valuable, you know, this profession is looked upon. And, you know, if you have that attitude and if you have that feeling in your heart, it's not going to work for you. But if you stand tall and you know that you are doing the best, this is actually a very noble profession. And if you are being professional with the learners and with the parents, and if you do your job properly, then I think you will be respected.
Beautiful. I believe that teachers are underrated and they're doing the most wonderful work.
Me too.
Can you take us on a summary of your first job? Getting out of university and then the first time you encounter a work environment. What was it like?
I landed my first post in Tableview in Cape Town. And you know, you've got a lot of aspirations. You sometimes watch the movies, you know, where these people are doing amazing things in the classroom. And I taught children that came from the Cape Flats, most of them. And you know, it was very, very, very difficult at first. You know, it was not the ideal classroom, and I was very young. And you know, you are looked upon. But I think if you have that professional attitude, and you know, if you believe in yourself and if you stand tall, then you can overcome anything. There was one boy that he failed for 3 years and he was 20, and he once come up to me and he told me, he said, I'm 20 and I've got a girlfriend that's the same age as you. Why should I listen to you? And I told him, fair enough. And he's taller than I am. I said, but you must realize that what's lying between me and you is a degree and matric. And because of that, I know that I can stand and I can speak to you and I can ask for that respect from you.
Wonderful. Can you maybe tell us what you do now?
I am writing interactive science lessons and I enjoy it very much. It's a whole new platform for me. My other motto is that, I want to promote science education on any platform that I can, to anyone that I can. And this has really been a very exciting journey for me because I've been writing courses for universities, which is mainly textbook based. But having learners being able to click and drag and interact with the lessons, that is awesome.
What would you say to a learner who's inspired by Great Newton or Tesla, but they're struggling with science?
I would tell them to, first of all, to read. I would tell them to, sometimes everyone focuses on science in school and they just want to pass and, they struggle. And sometimes you don't have a teacher that's passionate about it. Many teachers, they are actually language teachers or they are maths teachers and now they've got to teach science. But with the internet and with Google and the websites, you can learn a lot from that. And I think if you start learning, if you read up, if you research some topics that you are interested in, I think that can help a lot to gain your interest in the subject, and then you would like to know more, and the school science will give you that support.
So where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Actually, for the next 3 years, I think I'm going to I still have my children at home, so I need to focus on them and getting them through matric. And then I would like to get involved in the community. That's a passion for me, and I would really like to plow back that which I've learned, but also I would like to do a PhD. That's still a dream of mine.
People will look at you and say, but a PhD at your age, why the passion for learning?
I've always been a supporter of lifelong learning. If someone learns something new, or they do a new course, or they have a change in their careers, I'm always very amazed and supportive of that. I think one needs to learn, and there's such a lot of stuff that you still can learn that I haven't stopped learning yet, and there's still a lot of things that I would like to know.
And how do you juggle your work and family?
It is very tough. I'm a workaholic and I love what I do. So when everyone is watching a movie, I sit with my computer and I write my lessons, or I'm busy doing research. I love doing research. So it is tough, but I think they know me by now as well. And I spend a lot of time with my kids, and I think that helps.
Do you feel like there's enough platforms for educators like yourself to come and exchange information and get mentorship maybe, or even give mentorship?
I don't really know. If you talk about mentorship, I don't think there are formal mentorship programs and so on, which I really wish there were. Because when I did teacher training at Wits, it was like the teachers really wanted someone to help them, to assist them, to support them, to someone that they can rely on to help them, and to help them at their schools, and also learners as well. I don't think there's a lot of that, and maybe that is something that I would like to go into, because I know a lot of teachers that's very passionate about teaching, and the schools don't always give you that platform. So one might start something like that, in an extramural sense.
Beautiful. What do you think should be done to change this bad attitude towards teachers?
Unfortunately, there are a few teachers that, spoil the broth. Unfortunately, there are teachers that are lazy. There are teachers that, they only did teaching because they couldn't do other degrees, or they couldn't, do in another education. But I think if teachers, I still think that teachers are too timid in what they are doing. And I think they should just stand up, and they should, they should have self-confidence, they should be professional, and they should just start living that, respect that they want from the community.
Great. What do you expect your children to do educationally? Do you have like an expectation?
I think the only expectation that I do have is that they do something that they enjoy, and something that they are passionate about, and something that they will be prepared to spend time with. Because even when they had to choose their subjects, I said, choose the subjects that you enjoy, because you have to spend a lot of time with it. And then the second one is, I try to get them to have a good work ethics. So I don't really mind about marks or something like that, but I do feel that if their marks are not up to standard, and it's because they didn't work hard enough, then I do have a problem. But otherwise, if they've learned something, I don't connect that with marks. So academically, I let them do what they want to do, and I try to assist them. It's not always possible, because I get so excited to help them with maths or science, but sometimes the connection with a mother being a teacher is not always good.
That's a bit surprising, because most teachers are always forcing kids to study, and they always want them to have like a certain career, because of they've been exposed to so much in education. What's your philosophy on life? I think I'm a little bit different. I think differently about these things. And I'm actually advocating this a lot now, because I speak to a lot of children and to a lot of parents about what the children want to become. And I feel that this whole thing of getting a matric and then going to study and then you get a job, that's not working anymore, especially in South Africa. In my time, it worked. It was like this ladder that you climbed, and you knew that you are going to have 100% success rate. But these days, it's not working like this anymore. So don't force children to go to university. If that's not the career that they want to follow. If you want to go into IT, there are so many colleges that you can attend. You can get an internship. You can, you can study as you go along. You can get a job, and then you can, improve yourself. So in my opinion, there are so many paths these days that children can take. And also, you don't have to work for a boss. They are pushing entrepreneurship and stuff like that. So I just feel that, children are being, so much pressure is being put on children to take a certain way to get to a certain, to get to their career. And I think that the parent should actually evaluate their child, the personality, the type of child, and see if there aren't any other ways that the child can follow to actually, get to the profession that they want to do. Wow, beautiful. There's a lot of pressure at work. How do you stay mentally healthy, and how do you separate work life and your normal life?
I try to be balanced. I try to, do exercise and so on. And I think one needs to find something that is your happy space. A few weeks ago, I did have a rough part in my job, but my happy space is in the kitchen. So if I go and I bake or I cook something and my family enjoys it, then that does something for me. So I think you have to find find your happy space and you have to be balanced.
Do you believe in therapy, like going to a professional and, telling the professional your issues?
I don't even go to a doctor. So, I think if you don't have people around you that you can talk to, fortunately I've got a very supportive family. I've got a sister that I get along with a lot. I think if you've got a family and you can talk about, your problems with them and they can listen, then I think it's fine. But if you don't have someone that you can talk to, I think a therapist is definitely, worth your while, because you need to speak to people. You can't bottle it up. You can never do that. So you have to find someone that you can share your problems with.
If a recruiter is looking at this video right now and they're interested in recruiting you or working with you on a project, would you say you still have some more years to give?
Definitely, definitely. I am always ready to, I like to challenge myself, and I would love to do something, that I haven't done before, or work on something that's new, so I'm still excited about anything that's out there.
Lovely. In closing, say something to your children. Any last words for your children?
Oh, that is a very difficult one. But I really love you to bits. I love spending time with you. I love to see how you are developing, how you are growing, how you are finding your own niche in life. And I'll do anything to support you and to set you up for success.
Thank you so much for doing this, Rene.
Thank you very much, Anthony. It has been great fun.
You are such a treasure, and keep on keeping on. Never lose focus.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.